Are you a victim of your circumstances, or are you the victor of your own life? It's a really simple question, but the answer has huge consequences. So let's dive into the mental shift, drawing from insights from peak performance coach Tony Robbins that separates the people who are controlled by life from those who actually control it. Seriously, just take a second to think about it. Who really controls your life? How you answer this one question pretty much shapes everything you experience. Are you in the driver's seat, or are you just kind of sitting in the back along for the ride? Our culture often teaches us to look for what's wrong and, more importantly, who to blame for it. But when we do that, we're basically saying the problem is out there, which, if you think about it, makes us feel completely powerless. But there's another way to see things, through the lens of personal responsibility, which is all about taking back your ability to respond. Okay, so here's our game plan for taking back control. First, we're going to expose this culture of blame that holds so many of us back. Then, we'll get into something called the art of effective blame. It's a super powerful way to reclaim your power. Next up, we'll unlock the 3 core decisions that literally shape your destiny. We'll see it all come together in the mindset of a champion. And then finally, we'll see how this personal shift can help transform society as a whole. All right, first up, let's unpack what feels like the default setting for so many of us, the culture of blame. It's just so easy to fall into this trap because, we're kind of taught to look for what's wrong outside of ourselves. But as we're about to see, that instinct, it comes at a really steep price. Pointing the finger at somebody else, it's a total defense mechanism. It lets us step back from our own vulnerability, from asking that much tougher question, hey, what part did I play in this? It's a way to protect our ego, for sure. But man, it comes at a huge cost. And here is the trade-off we almost never see. When you give away blame, you are literally giving away your power. If someone else is 100% responsible for the problem, well then you have exactly 0 ability to fix it. Reclaiming control over your life means you have to start by reclaiming responsibility. So, if we're supposed to take responsibility, does that mean we should never blame anyone for anything? Well, not exactly. This leads us to a really counterintuitive but powerful idea, the art of effective blame. It's not about getting rid of blame, but about transforming it into a tool for your own empowerment. This is a total reframe, and it's a big one. Think about someone who really hurt you. If you're going to blame them for the pain they caused, you also have to blame them for the resilience it taught you, for the new perspective you gained, and for how much stronger you became because of it. All of a sudden, blame starts to look a lot like appreciation, and that's what opens the door to actually healing. In this whole idea, it really hinges on one core belief shift, starting to see life as happening for you, not to you. With that mindset, every single challenge, every setback becomes a gift. I know it might not feel that way in the moment, but it's an opportunity to grow into the person you're really meant to be. Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we live this way day to day? Well, it all comes down to mastering your inner world. In every single moment, you're making 3 core decisions that, whether you know it or not, are dictating your entire experience of life. These 3 decisions, what you focus on, what it all means to you, and what action you're going to take, they're basically the steering wheel for your life. The problem is, for most of us, they're just running on autopilot, driven by old habits and unconscious patterns we've had for years. The real key is to start making these decisions consciously. So instead of focusing on what's missing, you focus on what you have. Instead of obsessing over all the things you can't control, you put all your energy into what you can. This is what shifts you from a mindset of scarcity and powerlessness to one of abundance and real control. So what does this actually look like when somebody puts it into practice at the absolute highest level? Let's take a look at the greatest Olympian of all time, Michael Phelps, as a perfect case study in making these decisions consciously. See, it all starts with focus. A champion's mindset begins with a unique vision. Phelps wasn't focused on just repeating someone else's success. Nope, he was focused on creating his own legacy driven by his own internal standard. And that intense focus led directly to the second decision, action. At his absolute peak, Phelps would sometimes do 5 separate workouts in a single day. Why? Why such massive action? Because the meaning he attached to his goal, to be the first and only Michael Phelps, was so powerful that doing anything less just wasn't an option. All of Phelps's external results were a direct product of his carefully managed internal world. His coach literally removed the word can't from his vocabulary. That changed his focus. He visualized every single race outcome. That changed the meaning of pressure. He turned his losses into fuel. That changed his actions. He consciously chose every day to be a victor, not a victim of circumstance. Now, this victor mindset isn't just for Olympic athletes. It's a framework that can scale from our own lives all the way up to society itself. The same principles, taking responsibility instead of just assigning blame, can help us tackle some of our biggest collective challenges. This distinction is absolutely key. While we can't legislate how someone feels deep down in their heart, we absolutely can, and we must, address unjust actions. It focuses our collective energy on what we can actually control and what we can change together. By focusing on right versus wrong, just as Sabrina Fulton so powerfully says, we move beyond that endless cycle of blame and division. We get into the realm of shared moral responsibility, where the goal isn't just to assign fault, but to actually create a more just society for everyone. And this is the ultimate call for personal action. It connects our individual ability to respond directly to the progress of our entire community. It's not about solving every single problem in the world, but about identifying your part to play. Ultimately, the power to create change doesn't start with the world out there. It starts with the world in here. The real question isn't what others are going to do, but what responsibility you will personally take to make a difference. So, what is yours to do?